Hi, welcome back to IBT Tips, where I speak about everything skin, hair and muscle related. Now today I'm going to be talking about the foods that you should avoid if you're acne prone. But let me do a disclaimer first, because I know people on the internet like to get very passionate and vocal when they hear information they don't agree with. So there are some professionals in the beauty skin industry who do not believe that the food that you eat affects acne. They just don't believe it. They don't think there's any connection. Whereas there's other people out there that have done studies and they do believe that there's a connection between food and acne breakouts. So for example, Dr. Pimple Popper, someone very popular. I love watching her videos. It's one of the things that pushed me to get into beauty as well, because I love popping a spot. But yeah, she does not think that if your teenager's having too many pizzas or too many chicken wings, that is causing his or her breakout. Whereas there are other professionals out there that have done studies and have found certain, I'm not going to say facts because they still haven't been fully proven, but they've found links, I guess, between food and acne breakouts. So I've got that out of the way. If you do not agree that food leads to acne breakouts, simply move on from this video, live your life and don't leave your opinion below. Okay, now moving on swiftly. So the first thing we're going to start with is sugary drinks. Sugary drinks, you really want to try and cut down on them. If you can't cut them out totally, at least start finding alternatives and replacements. So I love a fizzy drink. Give me a 7-Up, a KA, a Fanta, a Supermo, anything with lots of sugar and bubbles, I'm happy. But I had to cut it down because I had to see if it was going to affect my skin or not. So instead of having really high fizzy drinks, I have carbonated water with juice. And one of the reasons why you want to try and cut out anything that has high glycemic levels, you're going to hear me saying that a lot today, is because it's been found that high glycemic levels can affect your insulin. Your insulin being affected can then affect your hormones. That hormone being affected can then increase your levels of oils that are being produced in the body. When we're producing more oils in the body, we can produce more sebum. Sebum then in turn can block your pores and leads to, you know what? Yes, acne and spots, okay? So that is why we want to try cutting down our sugary drink intakes. The next one is sugary foods in general. And when I say sugary foods, I don't just mean donuts, cakes, biscuits, sweets, chocolates, all that good stuff. I'm also talking about things like bread, pasta, rice even, and I'm always eating rice. But these things are also high glycemic foods and they have high glycemic levels. So in turn, like I just mentioned, they can affect your hormones. So if possible, you want to try starting to cut down on these foods in your diet. Me personally, for a good 2 years, I totally just cut out white bread. I cut it out just to see if it made a difference to my acne. I did see a difference. I still get mini breakouts here and there, but white bread is something that I try to stay clear of. Now and again, I do add it into my diet because we're living life, gosh. One day you might go shopping and they have no brown bread, so you just buy white bread. But if you are having really big breakouts, I would suggest trying to cut that out. Okay, so the next one is also, it's not a food, but it's a drink. So milk. Now, although milk isn't got high glycemic levels, milk has been found to have androgens in them. Now, testosterone is a form of androgen, and testosterone has been linked to acne breakouts. So that is why for some people, they really should try cut that out. But actually, interestingly, one thing I did find that when they were doing research on the links between milk and acne was that they were finding that people that drank semi-skimmed milk were having more breakouts of acne than those that were having whole milk. And I think it was something to do with when with semi-skimmed milk, they put other additives in it to make it creamier and thicker, the texture, whatever. And so it might be those additives as well that do affect our skin. But I know for me, I cut milk out. I have a tiny bit here and there, but I've had to try every alternative. And I must admit, soya milk, the oat milk, all those other sorts of fake milk. They're just not the same. But for my skin, it was worth it. And I did just learn to adapt and start changing the sorts of foods that I ate so I wouldn't have to have milk all the time. Okay, so next up is processed meats. Now this one was actually quite interesting for me because I didn't know about the effects of processed meats on our skin. This is why it's always good to research stuff as well, because even though I'm saying something, go out there and do your own research too. But it just made sense the more that I was reading. So for example, if you buy a nice pack of ribs, look at the smile on my face over food. But you know those ribs that come with the sauce on them and all of that, and it's processed meat. The sugar that would be in, for example, the barbecue sauce, that is going to affect your hormones levels. The additives that are placed in things like hot dogs and all those, you know, those meats where they're just crushing stuff up together and we actually do not know what is in them. They contain high glycemic levels. Lots and lots of sugar in meats to simply make it taste better. So when you are doing your shopping, start having a look at how much sugar is in your food, because you're going to be very surprised to find that things that you probably thought were quite healthy contain a lot of sugar. So I'll just go over that list again. So we want to try cut down on our fizzy drinks, white breads, white foods in general, sugary foods in general, and that doesn't just mean things like cakes and biscuits. Even cereals can be high in sugar levels. Look at the ingredients in your food. Milk also is a big one that if you're suffering from breakouts, I would definitely suggest cutting that out completely. It's going to be difficult. Alternatives might not be that tasty, but for the sake of your skin and feeling confident and just feeling more secure in yourself, it's worth it. You can start bringing it back slowly when you've sorted out what's going on with your skin. And lastly, processed meats. Because as well, our word of the day, high glycemic levels in processed meats. So another thing that I would say, if you are going to start trying to alter the foods that you're eating to see how it affects your skin, start with one thing at a time. So for me, one of the first things I would say that I started cutting down on was sugary drinks, because that was the easiest. Instead of buying sugary drinks when I went to the shop, I just bought my big bottle of carbonated water and then bought my fruit juices. And I wanted to see then, okay, how does my skin go throughout the next couple of weeks? Am I still having breakouts? Could it possibly be something else? And I did notice a difference in that. And then I started decreasing the amount of sugary foods that I ate. So like with the white bread, I love French bread. I just couldn't buy it. I had to be really, really disciplined, and you're going to have to be very disciplined as well. But you want to try and find a way that you can track what is affecting your skin. So if you cannot fully cut something out, at least start cutting down, and maybe start making notes of when you have little breakouts or where you're noticing your skin produces the most oils. And another tip, this is not even food related, but just another tip for my oily skinned acne ladies and men out there, our face needs moisture. I didn't used to believe this. I didn't. When people would say when you have oily skin, add more oil, you're stupid. But the fact of the matter is, our skin is producing more oil because it thinks our skin needs more oil. Because we're probably, well, I can't speak for you, but I know for me, I used to dry out my skin a lot with the soaps that I used to use. I would want to come out of the shower and my face be tight and dry, and I thought that would help my skin. Nope. It was just telling my skin, I need more oil, I need more oil. So please, if you are acne prone, find the moisturizer or even just the one sunscreen that works for you. We don't need a lot of products. We just don't. If I ever start selling products, telling me my own words. We don't need a lot of products. They just need to be really, really simple. But yeah, so let's try and cut down on our high glycemic leveled foods and also add a nice moisturizer to our skin. On top of that, try and find a way that you can track what's happening to your skin and what could possibly be affecting it. So I hope this has helped somebody out there. If you've liked this video, like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, TikTok, any of the other social medias that I may have or may have not put this on, please just give a little like and share, and I would really appreciate that. But I'll be back again with another video soon. Bye.